Round one, fight!
It says we're live.
Okay.
We're still on a recording.
Yep.
Oh God! Look at that.
And Mark almost says we need the wide angle lens.
Good old Mark.
Yeah.
Good old Mark. Beers of War podcast in the house tonight.
That's right. We are at headquarters.
HQ.
Sir Bigness.
Beer Ninja.
Matilda 82.
And we are live and in living color from Beers Week. And this has been a spectacular week. Guys, do you want to maybe do a recap some of the stuff we enjoyed during Beers Week?
My memory started, man, as soon as this man showed up at the doorstep, right?
At the door.
Along with his lovely family. All right. So, and then next thing you know, we are in Dallas, people. We are in freaking Dallas right now. We're visiting the National Video Game Museum. We're having an awesome time right there. It's like my second go around right there, but it still feel like it was the first time. So much history, so much pop culture going on over there. Like, I just had a phenomenal time right there, just taking a lot of video footage, just hanging out with my friends. You know, scratch that. My family, hanging out with them, having a good time. We had an awesome time up in Dallas right there, and that's how it started for me. What about you guys?
Well, from the time we walked in here on last Saturday afternoon, and going out to eat some amazing barbecue over at Stanley's in Tyler, Texas. Then wake up on Sunday, go out to Dallas to go check out the Video Game Museum. Me and my family's first visit to Buc-ee's.
Now we're not sponsored by Stanley's or anything like that.
Nor sponsored by Buc-ee's.
Or Buc-ee's, but two great places you definitely have to visit at least once in your life.
And the National Video Game Museum, it was crazy to go and see things that were etched in my memory, and seeing my son, who's 11, encounter those things for the first time, seeing an Atari, a working Atari, and playing Duck Hunt, and playing old school arcade video games, the things that he didn't get to experience the first go around, but him getting to participate in that as an adolescent, almost the same age I was when I experienced a lot of those same things. It was really a awesome experience, a humbling experience. And then carrying back off those, I mean, we went to Stanley's on Saturday night, had a great time, had some great barbecue, had some great laughs. Just as an aside to you single men who may be watching this, try not to work so hard when you're picking up a lady or when you're trying to talk to her. There's more to that story, but you know, we'll save that for another time. And then just
don't be trying to name drop. Don't overkill with the name drop, guys. Come on.
And then on Monday, the Monday potluck feast, we had a great time getting together, eating some spectacular barbecue, having some laughs, having a lot of drinks. So I mean, just all in all, everything, even heading up to today, and Friday stopping into to our buddy BJ's store, Games to Go, and even today, kind of just like a steak cookout, which we had a really good time, ate some really, really good food. Have had a considerable amount of some of that stuff that's behind us now. it's been a phenomenal week. So guys,
Yeah, it's been a great week. Like my daughter told me, is like next time we come out here, let's not do everything in the first 3 days, but he did a lot of stuff in the first 3 days. And then the last few days has just been kind of just chilling and taking it easy, doing a little bit of this and that. And basically fellowship with all of the Beard members.
yeah.
Go through the white door. Go through the white door.
Yeah, excuses. That was one of our new official members that just got inducted into the Beards Award tonight. E-Rock, Eric Hill,
Sir,
right there. Good having you here, brother.
Yeah, we actually inducted 2 new members
That's correct.
to the Beards Award tonight. Got to do the initiation shot.
Yes. And that was, I mean, it's crazy, this fraternity, this family that we kind of built out of an idea in this guy's head. And how it's gone from a bunch of people who play games together to a bunch of people who hang out in fellowship and call each other family.
Yeah.
And that is a testament to the power of video games.
Yeah, it even goes back even further than that with video games too. You know, like a lot of us, we actually work together and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we just built this friendship, this bond over time, and then over time, you know, we got to meet each other. I met Matilda right here back in the Xbox days, right there, the 360 days, right there. Never regretted it a moment since. And just it's like Kevin, it's like Big said, man, we're all just a big family now and everything. We love having a good time. We love getting these get-togethers. Nothing's gonna stop us, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had our ups and downs and everything, right?
Yeah.
You know, with the, you know, I don't know if we can even say, you know, the big P, right? You know, that happened and everything, but you know, we still all stayed in touch and whatnot. And it's like every time we get together, it's like we just pick up where we left off. Like nothing's changed. There's no awkward moments or anything like that, trying to get reacquainted with each other or anything. And that's what family's all about right there. That's what Beards of War is all about.
Well, it's like what I told Kevin when we got here last Saturday. I said we were sitting down chilling, and I was like, Kevin, I said, me and my family have been here since October 2022.
Yeah.
Or no, October 2020, excuse me. And I said, it has not felt like it's been 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we were just like it was just last 6 months ago was the last time we were out here. And it's just how it's always been. And then actually this week got to meet a few new people and then reintroduced a few people I haven't seen in the group since 2019. So yeah. And it's been a great week meeting and having fun, drinking, eating, playing some video games, watching some shows, watching some TV, just hanging out. I mean, it doesn't have to be nonstop going from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed. There's days we didn't even leave the house except go get food.
Yeah.
Other days it was, as soon as we got up, let's go to Dallas, load it up and go.
Absolutely. And we started off like you said, we go and we eat great barbecue up in Tyler, Texas and everything. We got to meet up with some other friends of ours, especially in the Beards of War and everything. I mean, you guys actually seen them on the podcast we did with the Last of Us episode. You got to see Six Gun Phoenix, you know, which was great. You got to bring his wife out and everything. So I kind of want to start right there, like how it just kind of took off right there, you know. So we all show up. I'm showing up with Kevin and everything, showing up with Matilda. You know, and that's where it just kind of took off and everything. So, I mean, so all in all, man, what do you guys think about the food?
Oh, the food was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I still have not found a barbecue joint remotely close to Stanley's up in Indianapolis. So, Indianapolis, if you're watching, pick up your game, please. Pick up your game. That was the one thing my kids were all looking forward to. What day are we going to Stanley's? Because they know that they're the same way. They know there's nothing like that up there.
Yeah, we touched that. They touched down. We kind of got settled in a little while. It's just, let's go to Stanley's, and it's a testament to a barbecue joint. Stanley's is not a big place for those of you who've been there, but the line was at the door.
Yeah,
And we had to wait a while to get our food, but the seats were comfortable. The staff was always really helpful, and the food is immaculate. The food is spectacular. There were people in line who weren't from East Texas, and they were making comments. Oh, well, I'm going to get the meat sweats. Oh, honey, you have no clue what you're about to get into.
That's right.
It's going to be delicious. And we had a great time at Stanley's. Just a great time period. Beers Week has been wonderful.
Compared to where I'm coming from, the weather has been amazing too.
We got lucky on that. I'm
Yeah,
telling
we
you
did.
right now, we got lucky on the weather and everything. Like, it's been pretty nice weather for the most part and everything. I didn't have to, none of us had to sweat over it or whatnot or anything like that at all. But Stanley's was a phenomenal night. Hope to go back there again. Yeah, we're not sponsored by them, but hey, Stanley's, we're open.
Yeah, we're open. We're open to sponsorships. I mean, Stanley's, Youngling, Hendrix Gin, whatever. Come on, we come on with the sponsorships. Dos Equis, yeah, we are interesting men. I mean, maybe not the most interesting men, but we are definitely interesting.
We try to be interesting.
Well, we try to be interesting.
So what happened? What happened the next day right there? We had a phenomenal time there. We got to meet up with some good friends and everything like that. Next day, we hit up
Dallas.
that's when we hit up Dallas right there, hitting up the National Video Game Museum. Like I said, so much pop culture to go on right there, so much history, so much nostalgia to just bring up right there. Like, every one of us just had like a story that we just bring up. Like, we cannot believe that we're actually in the presence of this right now. Like, something that we were like at the age of like 4 and up. So I mean, we had some friends of ours, some other Beers of War members that showed up and joined us. I'm not sure what gamer tag he's going by these days, but we
It
got
was the infamous plastic for a while,
plastic.
but now it's I'm not sure.
Oh,
Not sure.
Ron, please forgive us.
Yeah,
Ron McCann got to show up there with us over at the National Video Game Museum. It was an awesome, honorable experience to have them over there and everything. And after that, we decided to treat ourselves to a nice little restaurant. Again, not sponsored by them, Rotolo's and everything. Awesome food. Highly recommended up in Dallas right there. I think I ended up having like the chicken Caesar salad. You guys had like phenomenal food.
Yeah, we tried the pizza. And by the way, Ron, gamer tag is Soggy Bottom 76.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Soggy Bottom boy. He is a man of constant sorrow. So we well, I tell you what, why don't you come around for the camera, brother? Why don't you come around for the camera one time?
Yeah, I mean, our newest introduction.
Our newest inductee to the Beers of War.
You guys don't know this guy. This guy's name's Eric. What do we call him?
The E-Rock. That is E-Rock. And we have been friends. The three of us have been friends now for almost 20 years. And that is one of those things. One of those really cool things about what we're doing now, the Beers of War, is that it has gone past just people you game with, people you work with, people you grew up with, people you hung up. I mean, my sister's in this. My sister hasn't picked up a video game in God knows how long, but she's part of this, and she comes to the events, and she's part of the family. She's part of the crew, and being able to bring her in and have her contribute to this group is one of the great joys in life, is to see, for her to see me more than just her little brother, but as part of this collective, and then meet these wonderful people here, and it's been a great week. And well, brother,
Thanks, sir.
And not to call out another person who happens to be in the room with us right now. Yeah, I'm talking to you, brother. Although we didn't play video games together, but that's about to change here pretty soon.
Right.
We got another brother here with us from the Beards of War, aka Judson right here. Judson, say hello to the Beards of War. Everybody else out there. Right there, man. Another one that we worked together back in the day. We worked in the cellular industry. I won't say the name or anything right now at this time, but that's how.
get your love.
Yeah, there you go. That kind of gets you. So, he's here tonight on the last night of Beers Week and everything with us. Such a privilege to have him here with him and his family, and it's just been a wonderful, awesome evening with him. Thank you so much for being here with us, guys, both of you.
Sharing this week with us.
been a pleasure.
Absolutely. So, so we hit up that night. So here we are now. We're just doing the podcast and everything. We're just having a good time doing it. We're just here with family and friends. So what else did we do right after that? What else did we hit up right there?
I think we hit up. Well, we talked about the Bertolos.
We talked about
the Buc-ee's.
With the Buc-ee's, which
And then we just really wrapped it up at
Yeah.
night and came back here.
Came back here and hung out for a couple days. I think it was 2 or 3 days.
That was called Boosties.
Boosties, the Buckies. Yeah. Boosties.
We aren't that French.
That's what those Northerners call it. Those hippies up north.
Y'all gonna go to like Bossier City?
Yeah, Boston.
Bossier, Bossier City.
And Berkshires.
Brookshires and Bossier. Also, we are not sponsored by either Bossier City or Brookshires, but if you are looking for corporate sponsorship, Beers of War is a great place to go.
But overall, I think Beers Week has been extremely fun, enjoyable.
Yes.
It's like just picking up where you left off and everything, just talking. And, you know, we're also, again, not sponsored, but we do love watching The Mandalorian and everything. We kind of caught up on doing something like that as a family and whatnot. And that's been a really interesting ride. So that's been really cool, and just hanging out and just having a good time talking about it, because that's what we get to do and everything, you know? So like I said, good drinks, good food, good pals. Everybody, you know, we're all just here tonight, just having a good time, rocking it out. It's just almost sad that Beers Week has to end already.
It is.
Like it just went like that, right?
You know, one of those things we talked about on Monday, the whole concept of on Monday, is to take a moment and realize how fast time goes by. You look up, you do a couple of things, and 7:30 in the morning is now 12 o'clock. It doesn't happen like that during the work week. During the work week, it feels like every minute is 30 minutes. Every hour is a day and a half. But when you're living your life and you're actually enjoying some of the things that you get to do, time really does fly. So it almost seems unfair that your vacation week feels like what would be a day at work. And that's one of those things that failed to that we really tried to take note of, is that, you know, time is short. You're not guaranteed too many more days.
Not guaranteed tomorrow.
No, you really aren't. And we had this whole conversation about getting older, and it used to be people would dread their birthdays. Oh man, I hate turning 30. I hate turning 40. I'm about to turn 50, and my response to turning 50 is, I ain't dead yet. And the whole idea of living life is living life, and very much part of this week has been living life.
So let's get on to since we wrapped up Beers Week, let's get on to the biggest news story of the week.
Oh, yeah.
E3 being canceled.
Man.
And apparently from the articles we're reading, because of the big publishers backing out, the big three, and then Sega was backing out. Ubisoft backed out.
Xbox, all.
And I guess it's
Sega backed out.
Yeah, I'm curious at how much before all this, with them backing out, how much also was it ticket sales? Was it actually demand wasn't there this year?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the people putting it on are still wanting to maybe even next year try to do something, but how are you going to get everybody to show up if they don't even want to come this year?
Or if they don't know that there will be an event.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard to put your money down for something that you don't know is actually going to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of like interested in seeing where it's going to go with the other, you know, companies and whatnot, like, because there may be some opportunities where we'll be able to go and visit those kind of functions and those kind of events and everything. But then again, it's still up in the ether about where it's going to go in video gaming, you know, in history and stuff like that, because we rely on E3 so much for getting our video game news, our upcoming events, our upcoming games, anticipated games that we're looking forward to and everything, you know? So it's like, where's it going to go from there? I mean, where's the adaptation going to take place and everything? So, I mean, only time's going to tell, right?
Sony taking those moments, or Sony, PlayStation, or Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo taking that week and really getting our appetite, you know, awakened for what's coming here, for what's coming down the pipe as far as their console system. That kind of stuff was unparalleled and is unmatched. And Sony can do their state of plays, and Microsoft can do their Microsoft whatever they call it, and Nintendo can do their directs. But there is something about having all three of those entities together, along with the game manufacturers, along with the publishers, along with the fans, Because ultimately that's what this is. This is a consumer product. You want your fans there. You want your fans excited for what it is you're about to bring to bear. And by canceling E3, they have really, I hate to say it like this, but they've really kind of spit in the face of the fans. Because the thing that we're looking forward to, that we really want to see, is games. I don't really care about another console. I don't care about the PlayStation 6 yet. I don't care about the new thing Nintendo's going to do or Microsoft is going to do. I want to see some games.
Right.
We've got these consoles, by and large. I think, I'm fully next gen at this point. You put down that kind of money for a product, and you really haven't had that next level experience yet with too many of the games. I mean, there are a couple I can cite: Horizon Forbidden West being one, Forza Motorsport 5, Microsoft Flight Simulator. But that list of games that are just like, oh, I can only do this with this new console, that list is real small. And it might be because of the pandemic, which in that case, that's what 2023, 24, 25 is about. But don't give me another console yet. Make sure that I get my money's worth out of the $500 I've spent on this console, and get my money's worth without having to pony up another $550 to pay for a VR console, Sony, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So, guys,
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is like everybody backing out. That's one thing we'll never see. We'll never see the light of day is the ticket demand.
Mhm.
Was the fans actually interested in this year? I mean, it sounds to me like the tickets went on sale after it was already leaked that PlayStation, Sony, and Nintendo, or Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo weren't going to be there. And I think that led to lower ticket demand. Even some of the developers saw it wasn't going to be as hyped up and well attended. But like we said, when we were growing up, we looked for the YouTube feed or G4 or wherever to find the, even streaming it through Xbox to go watch the developers show every year during E3. And now we don't get that. I mean, granted, Xbox was planning on, once they backed out, they were planning on still being down in LA at the same time as E3 to do their reveal show, but I think it takes away from the nostalgia of being E3. Because I mean, we've been doing that since what, the early 2000s, late 90s?
Yeah.
Even when you used to look for it in the magazines you got in the mail?
Oh, yeah. And I think some of it's ego. Some of it's like, well, I don't want to be the company that lost E3.
That if I can just chime in,
Mhm.
when you just said the ego, I think you're seeing the ego of each individual entity,
Mhm.
the ego of Sony, the ego of Xbox, the ego of Nintendo, like they're all trying to separate, yet you have a fan base.
Mhm.
And quite frankly, I don't care if you're Xbox. I don't care if you're pro PC. I don't care if you're pro Nintendo. I care that you have a love for gaming. I care that you have a love for
Mhm.
this fandom,
Mhm.
this thing that we've done since we were kids.
Yes.
Like it's just it's sad. It's a sad day in gaming. It's a sad day in entertainment that we can't have that full-fledged, just the barrage of information, of games, of content. Like it's all separated. It's all divided. It just sucks.
And I just recently purchased the PS5, like a few months ago and everything. And I made it a point that I would get something that was exclusive to PS5 only and whatnot. And to be honest with you, there's really not a whole lot out there. Don't get me wrong, PS5 has some phenomenal exclusives when it comes to gameplay and everything like that. But we're already, it's 2 years, right? We're about 2 years into PlayStation now?
Three years. Yeah.
Okay, so we're 3 years into it. We're 3 years into it already, and already we're hearing reports of a new console coming out and
The
everything.
PS5 Pro.
And what else do we have that came out exclusively, for PlayStation or exclusively for PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or anything like that? I spent a ton of money on these consoles expecting to get, and all we're still getting is games that are from the previous generation. you know, that was already played. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with them games or anything like that. Thoroughly enjoyed a lot of them and whatnot. But I want to make sure exactly where's the content? Where am I going to put? If I'm going to put that kind of money into this thing like that, I don't want to like go like another round and do a mulligan and then go back and buy these other consoles and whatnot.
Yeah,
You know, mulligan all over again.
I
Yeah.
think overall COVID on the games has delayed the release of games because the games we're seeing now were slated to be released in 21 and 22.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
we're almost halfway through 23 now. And we're
Mhm.
still getting games coming out that should have been released in the last couple of years. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when everybody shut down offices and people started working from home, some of these people may not have had the computing power to develop a game at home.
And then how many games got lost in that shuffle too?
Ooh,
Like if they just flat out canceled.
Yep.
right.
I mean,
Yep.
there's probably a lot of good ideas. And at this point, not to kind of make it, you know, what we had with the Wii, where they were just shoveling games out that weren't even like a high quality game, but give us something.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, give us a game that's functional, that works. I mean, I'm looking forward, and I've seen people bash this game, but I'm even looking forward to the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game
I'm looking forward to it.
because it's different.
Mhm.
It isn't just shovelware. It isn't a Destiny clone. It isn't a GTA clone, and it isn't a sports game. It's something that's going to be a little bit different, something that where you're familiar with the source material, and something you can probably delve into and play with your friends. I'm just excited that something different is coming.
Well, it's like me and Tim are fans of Ark Survival Evolved.
Mhm.
And today they had an announcement, and they come to find out that they're delaying Ark 2 from early to mid this year to the end of 2024 now.
Ouch.
2024 or 2025?
24.
Oh.
The reason I gave behind it is most of the developers are not 100% familiar with Unreal Engine 5 yet, so
Mhm.
they're still kind of working out some bugs. And their goal is they're claiming they want to get a finished product out to us at the time, so they're going to hold back on it and play. And on the flip side, what they're going to do to help practice get better with Unreal Engine 5, they said they're going to re-release the current Arc edition from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, but you have to pay for it. It's going to be like a separate game. Where Ark 2 is going to be day one Game Pass or game whatever PlayStation is.
Yeah.
So
A lot of that going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
It's a guaranteed pay. It's almost like
and unfortunately, the fan bases of some of these games will go fork over the money to play. And that's just how, unfortunately, is how we are. Until we actually put our foot down and stand up and not buy the games, we're not going to see a change. And speaking of people putting their foot down, I think, like Kevin mentioned earlier, is the new PS VR.
Mhm.
What was it? They wanted 2 million units sold by the end of March, and they only sold just under
270,000, I think, is
Yeah.
where the target is.
So they're roughly 1.7 million off of what their first month goal was.
Yeah.
So is there an issue with it, or is it just the price point?
I don't think it's the hardware. Well, I mean, I think it's because really you have three things. You have hardware, you have software, you have price.
Right.
They're only really succeeding at one of those three, which is the hardware. The hardware works.
Mhm.
Everything I've seen, this is a damn near revolutionary piece of hardware. It is a VR headset that is completely functional. I haven't seen very many glitches. I've seen people that really enjoy what content is available. The Gran Turismo 7 content, the Horizon Call of the Mountain content. I see people that really enjoy that. Where they're failing is the software because, I have a PS4 VR headset.
Mhm.
I haven't used it 75 times. In the times that I've owned it 4 years.
I think my kids have used it more times. Possibly come out here before the last couple
Mhm.
times we've been out here.
Yeah, I hardly ever use it. One, for the sensory deprivation aspect of it, because I have a younger child. I have dogs. I need spatial awareness. And the second thing is, I mean, there's not that app. There's not that just killer absolutely, you know, app on top of app on top of app on top of app. It's like, oh, like I can have this, and I can do this, and I can see this, and this is great. It just isn't there.
Hmm.
I mean, the VR Pro Era thing looks interesting. It looks like NFL 2K5 in VR. It does not look good.
So not like that next gen.
It doesn't look like a next gen experience. Gran Turismo looks like a next gen experience. Call Them Out looks like a next gen experience. Beat Saber is a PS4 game. It doesn't look next gen. You have to have, if you're going to ask somebody to pony up $550 after they've ponied up $499 for your console, you better have the software in line for this thing to work. And they don't. And on top of that, now you introduce, now you're more than halfway through this console's life cycle. So you're going to tell me that I'm going to spend $500 on a console, $550 on a VR headset, and the thing's going to work for 3.5 years, and then you're going to have something else? That really is frustrating as a consumer.
$550.
Yeah, people don't have that kind of money anymore. They don't have that kind of disposable income. If you bought a PS4, and especially considering the fact that there were so many delays in acquiring a PS5,
Right.
most people who are playing PS5 right now have not had their console for 1.5 years or 2 years.
Mhm.
I was lucky and blessed enough to have mine now going on I'm going on year 3. I've had mine for 3 years. I enjoy it. It is a revolutionary console. The controller itself is the best controller I've ever played video games with. But it's kind of difficult to rationalize making a $550 purchase. That's a car note for a lot of people. That's half rent for a lot of people. That's not a frivolous amount of money. Now, if the price point is $399, I'd already have one.
Okay.
If the price point was $399, yeah. If the price point was $399, I would. Day one, I'd have been out there.
It's almost like the PlayStation 3 announcement all over again.
Yeah, where it was $600.
$600 console.
I'm like, you a $600 console, and you can. That's 2 car payments at that time.
This is a prime opportunity for Xbox to work out that deal with the third-party VR headset
Mm-hmm.
to bring it, to start the VR into Xbox, because most of those VRs run off of a Windows operating system. It shouldn't be that hard, because even the Xbox Series, Xbox One, Series X, run off of Windows.
Mhm.
You can to put the software on there to connect to an Xbox and start playing VR games.
Yeah. But what apps? I mean, you would have to have developers put that money into creating apps, and I think that's where you have to rationalize that purchase, and you have to rationalize that purchase by having a reason for me to buy that headset. And my best experiences with the PlayStation VR headset were not game experiences. It was, the museum type things and going to see, the Sistine Chapel from the inside out. And, that's something I will probably never do as an adult.
Like one of our most viewed videos on our current channel is
It's the most.
my daughter, 3 or 4 years ago, wearing the VR headset with the shark.
Dude, it was 5 years ago.
Is it 5 years?
It
It's
was
been
5 years ago.
And she
What
was
was
13, 14 years old, wearing it and going down to the scuba and getting scared by the shark.
Bubbles?
Yeah.
Well,
It was Mr. Nibbles.
Mr. Nibbles.
Mr. Nibbles. Mr. Nibbles. He met
Oh,
Mr. Nibbles. And it was, that was a great experience. It just was. Well, did I get my money's worth out of that headset? Probably not. Honest to goodness. It's left to be seen whether or not they're going to pick up. But I would anticipate. I know it's $549 now. That thing's going to be $450 by Christmas. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be
Christmas in July.
for it to just not be a complete disaster for something at a time they really can't afford a disaster because of Xbox Bethesda. Or no, Xbox, no, Activision. Activision.
Activision.
But that's just a done deal. My apologies, guys. It's been, fun week.
Had a lot of drinks.
Yeah, speaking of the,
Probably have a lot.
the Microsoft merger with Activision Blizzard, couple of news stories that broke over the last several days is, some of the, foreign countries are starting to change their stance on it and starting to side with Microsoft in this. And I think a lot of it though is the one thing PlayStation did not want to get out was all the exclusive deals that PlayStation had with all the Activision Blizzard publishers are coming out, and it wasn't as fair as everybody thought it was.
Mhm.
And I think I read something where there was a group from the United States Congress. They were like, well, we looked into it, and they're starting to see the monopoly that PlayStation was running the monopoly in Japan to keep Microsoft out or Xbox out.
Microsoft's actually dominating in Japan right now where they weren't before.
Well, that's part of it. It was like they had stuff in place that hindered Xbox from being taken over.
Right.
The UK has their people on their antitrust people. They're starting to change their stance and side with it. So I understand why the court case and why PlayStation was so adamant about not wanting to try to do everything they could to stall the release of that information. Well, as it's starting to leak out, if you read between the lines, it's damning for PlayStation. So, but I would say probably by the end of the year, we're probably going to be moving on. It's going to move a lot quicker here.
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, though, I'm still looking at the diversity between Xbox and PlayStation because I still love the best of both worlds that they have to offer when it comes to video gaming, when it comes to entertainment, So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the future right there. And I hope that both parties can actually work it out to the point where we're going to be in the game exactly for a very long period of time. So
That's what we want.
absolutely.
As gamers, I mean, I think that's essential. I understand that you're in business and you're in competition with some of the other companies. It does not need to be cutthroat. And the bottom line is, if you are solely focused on the gamers and what the best experience for your games and your gamers are, there's nothing wrong with having a little competition there. I mean, hands down, hardware based, the PlayStation, the controller's better. The interface, I go Microsoft.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about having all three of those. And as far as just flat out games and fun and games you can spend hours and days and days and days and days playing, that's Nintendo. For those of you who have Animal Crossing, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Those guys hardly have any problem.
And you never see a glitchy game from Nintendo. As you talk about quality of games, there's a reason why they still charge $49.99 for Mario Kart 8 because it's worth it.
And that console still sells.
That console still sells.
For 400.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I thought the Switch actually come down in price.
I think it did. I think it's $2.99 now.
Yeah, I thought it was $3.99. No, it's still $2.99. You're right. It's
$2.99.
It's $2.99.
Which-
It's still selling.
It's still who was it? Was it Newegg had the Xbox One X that actually was down to $60 off? So
The Series
Xbox,
X,
yeah, they're starting to come down in
they're
price.
starting to come down in price and they're starting to be available. Your install base is probably already purchased one, if not both of the consoles that they're going to buy. So now you're going to start to see the discounts come, which means inevitably we're looking at the end of this generation of consoles before it really even got started, which is bad for consumers.
Money well spent.
Yeah, yeah, because when you're 12 and you're starting a game, that's all you do is game. When you're 50 and you start the game, you got a mortgage to worry about. You got to send your kids to college.
Amen.
You got to pay some light bills because it'd be nice to have that PlayStation. You can't eat it.
Preach forever.
You can't eat it. I mean, let's be real about it. A lot of the people who have gotten out of gaming did not get out of gaming because they didn't like gaming. They got out of gaming because it is an expensive habit.
Yep. That's probably a good question to ask.
Yeah.
You guys think? Top of the line, is that an expensive habit to have?
Yeah.
What do you think about E3 canceling? like to hear your guys' comments on this.
Mhm. And if you don't play games, why did you stop?
Oh,
That's a great question. That's
why did you stop?
if you are no longer a gamer, if you were once a gamer and you're no longer a gamer, what made you stop? And it's like, well, I can't meet girls if I play games.
That's a lie. That's a dead lie.
Women play
And
games.
trust me, those ones you're playing with, you're thinking of girls, it's probably a 13 prepubescent boy.
Yeah.
Thank God we never got caught up in that.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
So,
Oh, man.
anything else you guys, any news stories or anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think I echoed this in the Friday vibes. Is that this is a great reminder of the power of friendship and the joy of friendship. Huh? It is Friday.
It is Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday. But it's also the last day of Beers Week, which
Full circle.
full circle.
Yeah.
Trust me, I wish I lived close enough that I could come down here one weekend a month.
That might be a reality though. So, hey, it's getting pretty dang close there. Kids getting ready to graduate.
If a fortune teller wants to give me the winning lottery numbers, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have.
Swear to God.
It'd be nice to have. So, we'll pass the shots around.
Oh man.
We got a little fireball this
Boys, a little spicy drink tonight.
Right, sir. You like it?
Yeah, the blue
So-
one. I had the blue one right there.
Not just from the three of us this time,
No.
but from the five of us at the end of Beers Week. I want to thank you for watching, enjoying the podcast. Please like, share, comment.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Yep.
From the Beers of War headquarters, if you drink, may you drink with me.
Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
The first time we all got it
That
right.
was a strong ending there.
I love it.
That was a strong ending there.
Hey,
We're still recording.
I feel like a damn celebrity. I love you. Like, I'm on TV and shit. I gotta go tell my wife.
You're gonna be on YouTube.
That's a fucking blooper right there.
Y'all are gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you so much, man.